From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Melinda Akilami.
Hello and welcome. Gunmen attack community in Mangu local government area of Plateau State, killing at least 12 people as 4 Catholic seminarians are abducted in Kaduna State. Governors of Southwest states launch Operation Amotekun as part of the move to check insecurity in the region. President Buhari asked university lecturers to embrace the integrated payment and personnel information system as he promises to make education a priority of his administration. And disquieting British royal family following decision by the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan, to step back as senior royals. Plus, business, sports, news from Abuja, the FCT, and later from our studios in London.
On business news tonight, the federal government assures of conducive business operating environment for investors in Nigeria.
And on sports news tonight, Spurs forward Harry Kane to be out for 3 months. Striker set to undergo surgery on a ruptured tendon in his hamstring.
And from Abuja, FCT High Court sentences the Director General of the National Council for Arts and Culture, Mr. Olusegun Rushewe, to jail for contempt of court.
Security is yet again under the spotlight in many states across the country, from Plateau to Katsina, and the concerns in some southern states. In Plateau State, Kolben Village in Mangu local government area is mourning the murder of at least 12 people by armed bandits in an overnight raid. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Tena Toibev, says officers of the police command received a distress call on the midnight attack this morning. One other person who was injured in the attack is said to be receiving treatment in hospital. The governor, Simon Lalong, has visited the affected village where he called for calm and gave residents the assurance that the situation is now under control.
We don't want to say this person is at fault, but we want to say that we have a problem, if we have a small security snag, that is where we will go into it immediately. Those who are running, I don't advise you to run anywhere. The moment you are running, you will go and encounter a different problem somewhere. Now that security is here, please be comfortable, stay where you are. If the governor can come to this place, I don't see why people will run away. We are already here, that means the security is here, they will remain here. And as we go back, we will continue to find out the reasons, and those who are responsible, you know, we don't joke with them. If we catch you irresponsible, we keep you where you are, and still giving you the assurance that if we come here, is to protect you. Because if we don't protect you, what then is the essence of government?
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has sent a condolence message to the governor, Simon Lalong, over the attack and is asking the military, police and other security operatives to ascertain details of what happened so that they can do all they can to prevent a recurrence. A similar attack also happened in Kaduna State today, where gunmen suspected to be kidnappers abducted 4 students of the Good Shepherd Catholic Major Seminary at Kaku village along the Kaduna-Abuja highway. The spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, Yakubu Sabo, says the gunmen invaded the school through a porous point and started shooting before abducting 4 students from their hostels.
While they were about picking the student, because they had already fired some shots, which made the student jittery, and they were just coming out of their respective dormitory. They heard the sound of police arrival, and they decided just to escape through the other sides of because the school has some porous areas that the hoodlums used to access, and this was how the prompt response of the police averted the opportunity for the criminals to pick so many number of students. But sadly, they succeeded in taking about 4 male students to unknown destination. The police had combed the general area with a view to rescuing these victims and apprehending the suspects.
In the meantime, the governors of the 6 southwest states have also been strategizing on how to strengthen the security in their states. The result of this is the launch of a security initiative codenamed Operation Amotekun, aimed to tackle problems of insecurity effectively. The operation is expected to complement the efforts of the police and other security operatives in their states in combating kidnapping, armed robbery, as well as curbing clashes between farmers and herdsmen. Our correspondent, Bukola Oriyewu, tells us more.
Reminiscences of the hunter's creed of old, a call to brotherhood from one of the foremost monarchs in the southwest region, the Oni of Ife, Enito Adeyeye Ogunwusi. The host governor, Seyi Makinde, says the Western Nigeria Security Network is a collective effort aimed at restoring confidence that regional integration in a safe atmosphere remains a priority.
It is our priority to ensure that both indigenes and settlers living within the boundaries of our various states can carry out their legitimate activities in a secure environment. Everything we have outlined to do with Amotekun is in line with the existing security architecture in Nigeria.
The chairman of the Governors Forum and Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, explains that Amotekun is a confidence-building strategy for the 6 states of the Southwest and not a regional police force as been peddled on social media.
We do not want this to create any fears in the minds of anyone. And we've seen all manner of things in the social media. Although we are not responsible for it and we cannot explain it, but we see those things that have proliferated the social media as an attempt to sabotage what we are doing.
The chairman, Southwest Governors Forum, Rotimi Akeredolu, also underscores the importance of the project.
It will save us from all this banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, armed robbery, herdsmen and farmers' conflict, clashes for ritual killings, and cybercrime. The current situation in the country demands pragmatic and proactive solutions.
In his goodwill message, the leader of the Yoruba World Congress, Professor Banji Akintoye, believes that the initiative was long overdue.
What is happening is that the Yoruba people, led by their governors, the elected leaders of their states, are stepping forward to give a higher level of protection to the Yoruba people in their farms and their homes.
The regional command would operate from a control center in Ibadan, while the operational base is in Gbongan, Osun State. Bukola Oriyewu, Channels Vision News.
Let's examine further the issue of insecurity and the measures being put in place to tackle it. We are being joined live from our Abuja studios by a former State Director of the Department of State Services, Mr. Mike Ejiofor. A pleasure having you with us.
Thank you.
Now, the killings across the country, from bandits to kidnappers, have become almost a daily occurrence. What do you think has happened to the nation's ability to handle this situation?
Well, it's quite sad, very unfortunate that the situation is deteriorating instead of improving. Each day you look at newspapers, you see killings in virtually all the states, and a cause for real concern. One cannot say exactly why the relapse in the situation, but I think the security agencies should be up in their games to ensure that stability is maintained.
Mr. Ejiofor, many Nigerians think government is not doing enough and want it to wake up, as it appears not to have found the actual reason behind the problem. What do you think about this?
Well, you see, it's not that government has not found solution to the problem. Just like we have in other subsectors, there are many security challenges in terms of at least funding. I continue to emphasize that our security agencies are not adequately funded. That is not to say that government is not doing enough, but like every other sector, if you look at the power sector, it's the same situation. So we cannot take that in isolation. We cannot take security situation in isolation. But people are worried because without security, there's no basis for any meaningful development. I think that's why everybody is worried, and government should look for solutions. Because the primary purpose of government is security and welfare of the people. And if any government fails to do that, then the government must see to have failed.
What do you make of the launch of a security outfit by states of the Southwest today to tackle the menace in that region?
Well, it's a very welcome development. You see, I have been one of the agitators of the state police. That is at the micro level. But the Southwest, for instance, we have always also maintained that the Southwest advances the political agenda. They always have a political agenda to stabilize the country. Since they have come up at the macro level, covering the Southwest region, and having invested much, I think it will reduce, and hopefully that the situation will improve. Because I remember when during the Biafran War, there was this jingle that they said that the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. So when these people know that the communities are prepared for them with the police, which is the statutory organ charged with maintenance of internal security, getting the people involved, I think they will relocate. And the danger in this is that if they relocate, they could possibly move to Southwest and to South-South. And other geopolitical zones too will be encouraged to form their own security outfit to ensure that this is, because the police as it is now cannot contain the whole situation because of funding, because of, understaffing and various challenges facing the police.
Mr. Ejiofor, let's bring this conversation home now. Many people have been looking at ways to address the challenge of insecurity, including the issue of community policing. So what do you think this initiative launched by the Southwest governors fall under?
Well, it falls within the community policing because they are not going to operate on their own from the guidelines reeled out. They are going to work in liaison with the police. So that falls under community policing. But I think we should go beyond that. Like I have said, at the micro level, each state, our constitution should be amended to accommodate state police. No matter the fears people have about being abused, that it will be abused. Definitely there will be law, there will be procedures to guide and ensure that people who abuse the law are taken care of.
But beyond state police, what other things can be done to solve this problem?
Yeah, but that's exactly what we said. Like this initiative taken by the governors of Southwest, irrespective of their political differences, you know that we have a PDP, APC, they have all come together. And that's what security should be all about. Not politicizing our security. People will just come and be politicizing our security, not knowing, unmindful that if it rains, it's going to fall on everybody. So I think we should come together, everybody should come together to ensure that we support our security agencies to achieve peace within our polity.
Former State Director of the DSS, Mr. Mike Ejiofor, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on the News at 10.
Thank you. In
part 2, after the break, Nigerian Broadcasting Commission gets marching order to implement committee recommendations aimed at repositioning the broadcast industry. Stay with us.